To create a post-apocalyptic world, the first thing you need to think of is the event that's caused it. So this could be zombies, or infected, biological or nuclear warfare, robots and aliens. Now you've chosen your climactic event, the next step would be to decide where it's happened. Is it Fallout-esque or Wheel of Time-esque, Cloud Atlas or Planet of the Apes? Now each of these have had apocalyptic events that occur, but each one is vastly different from the other. So it really is down to you how much of an impact this event has on your story and world, and whether it actually plays any real relevance. So you've chosen your type of event, you've chosen where it happened, and now you've got to decide when it happened.
What? When did this happen? You're joking, right?
So, is it recently in the future? Is it happening right now? Is it an apocalyptic book where the reader is going to experience firsthand the events that occur and the fresh aftermath that comes with it? Or is it going to be sent way on yonder where, you know, the post-apocalyptic event happened thousands of years ago and no one really cares anymore, or they just think it's not real or a myth or something like that. So that's ultimately down for you to decide how relevant the actual event is for your plot and judge what kind of impact having it far away or closer to your current story actually does for it. So in my book Displaced, I would class it as a post-apocalyptic because my characters don't really care about what happened. They're not bothered. They just want to live their life. They don't care about what happened way on yonder years. They're not interested. And I feel like that would be reflected in real life. If that actually happened and it had been, you know, a couple hundred years or something after an event, most people wouldn't care. They'd just be trying to get on with their lives. Now, this lack of information then plays into the story itself, not knowing what happened, and then that's going to cause issues in the future. Whereas if your event was more relevant and more recent and had people alive from that event, that could play into the story as well, because they would know the answers or they would know more about what went on and what life was back then. So it really depends on the angle you want to create when developing your story and your world. And the last point, which is kind of an extra point, is what is the first thing that comes to your mind when you think of this world? Is it a certain scene? Is it a certain character? Is it a certain creature or building or even an object? Now, whatever it is, I would ask that you write about this thing. So whether it's an object, whether it's a scene or a character, write about it, because when you initially think of this idea that you've got in creating a post-apocalyptic world, that's the idea that's going to get you excited. And it's essentially the spark for wanting to create this universe. So I feel it's very good that it's focused upon, because world building is all very good and great, but it can be a little bit tedious. And sometimes you can just add details in that no one is going to see. Whereas if you're writing about this spark, this initial concept that you have in your head of this object or character or scene, writing about that is going to get you excited. So you could do maybe a little bit of world building. And then if you find it a little bit boring, write the scene that you feel is exciting and you feel that is relevant to your story. Now, it doesn't matter if it's all rough, and that's in regards to this scene, object or character that you're talking about, or even the world building that you're doing, because everything can be changed, right? The first time you write something is not going to be perfect. And what I talk about here and the process of writing can also be found in another idea, which is a free PDF guide you get for signing up to my newsletter. It walks you through from the very beginning of writing a novel all the way up to self-publishing and getting your book online. It doesn't touch upon world building, but the PDF is free if you do sign up to my newsletter, or you can buy the paperback on Amazon as well. And if you did enjoy this video, feel free to subscribe, like, or check out my next video, which is on fictional places and how to name them. Cheers for watching.